What is up, everybody? This is Podcast Gameoverse, episode 050 for Saturday, November 14th. I am Wasabi Ice Cream, joined by my Mr. Handsome, Rick.
Yo, what up? Call me handsome. Do you even know what I look like? Have you ever seen me?
I've seen, yeah, I've seen you. You see me?
Shit. I don't think I have.
Oh,
Well, what's the non-weirdest way to ask someone for a picture of them? I'm asking for a friend.
like, yo, let me get them digits, is what I do. But or you got Snap, your Instagram. My answer to all that is no. So
anyway, here we are. We are going to talk about some games, talk about some shit. I'm excited. That's our ending theme. A little too early for that.
Yeah. All right, guys, that's the show.
Yep, that's the show. We're here. You heard me make some bad jokes about getting Wasabi's picture. Thank you and good night. Well, we got some shit to go over, but first, what have you been playing, man? Actually, let's start with the charity stream because we just did that recently. I was on there for a couple hours.
Yeah.
How was that, man? How was that for you?
Pretty good. You know, it's usually pretty rough because there's usually not a huge turnout. So I'm usually just there by myself trying to keep myself entertained.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, there was a huge turnout, so it kept me busy the whole time, mostly. And yeah, I think we hit like $98, which is pretty good. You know, it goes on until the end of the year, so anyone can still donate. Gameoverse.com/extralife to donate. That's live until the end of the year. And our friend Nugget also is repping for Canada, so Gameoverse.com/NuggetExtraLife. And yeah, it was great. We played it was your first time playing Path of Exile.
Yes,
with
it
me.
Was.
So
Yes, it
how did
was.
you
And I loved
enjoy that?
I loved it. Like at the beginning, I was like, okay, this doesn't feel too different from like other action RPGs I've played. And then when I started getting deeper into it, I was like, wait a minute. Now that I see how these gems work together, I was like, I could build whatever I want.
Yeah.
Kind of build it however I want. And like I already started getting like I made the joke in the podcast. I'm starting to get the maclamations of an inkling that might be an idea of how I want to build my character. And it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I really liked it. I really want to play it again once I get my computer working.
Yeah, I like that the game just allows you to kind of just mix and match and just get ideas, and like you just hit a spark in your head and you're like, oh, what if I combine this with this and then did this? It just lets you try stuff and kind of just test things out, and I really like that about it.
Yeah, I like that a lot about it too. Like, it gives you enough freedom to kind of build however you want. I'm probably still going to be looking up guides online though, but I'm really tempted not to because it's so much fun just letting things happen and mixing it up and see what you can make from it. It was a blast. I liked it a lot, and I'm really glad like I got a chance to play it.
Yeah, well, it's
Also in the
always there.
podcast that was your first time playing Borderlands 3 in like what, like a year?
No,
So how was that for you?
I've been playing that game just a little bit.
Yeah.
It's that was my first time playing it with like someone who wasn't like a random jumping in because I accidentally left it on open. But
No, we had some fun with that too. You had a lot of shit to talk about Moe's. You did not like playing as Moe's.
yeah, it's not that I didn't like playing as her. It's just that I didn't. She really is geared towards a certain play style,
Yeah.
and I don't think she's the right choice to be the first character you pick. And she was the first one I picked, and I was like, I don't think I have like, cause she has like a lot of splash damage stuff and like like fire related stuff, like stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't have like, you really got to have your gear, you got to have your shit together if you want to like optimize some of your skills. And
Yeah, it has a very specific way of like playing
yeah,
once you go down that path. Um, it's a fun game. I liked it a lot. I'm almost done actually beating it again with Flak, so that's cool. I kind of want to start it over with either Moe's or with what's the other dude? The soldier, the soldier dude, the clone. What's his name?
Soldier
No,
Boy.
talk. Sure, whatever. Um, but no, I kind of want to start over with him once I finish up with Flak, so I can. I just want to get everyone up to the end of the game so I can play it true Vault Hunter mode, the way the game was intended to be played, and
Yeah, I
maybe buy
never
like a
like
season pass or something.
that whenever someone says, "Oh, but you got to like the real game starts once you like put like 300,000 hours in," I'm like, I don't really want to like. I would enjoy it if the game started when I hit the start button, not when I put in all this time and then like the real game starts. But
I hear ya, and it's because Borderlands is a weird game. Like, if you want to play the game for the story, which spoiler alert, you shouldn't. The story is okay.
yeah,
The game is not as funny as it thinks it is. There, I said it. The game is not as funny as it thinks it is.
controversial,
Um,
man. Watch out, they're coming for you.
but if you like the game for the gameplay loop, killing bigger, badder guys, getting bigger, badder loot, True Vault Hunter mode does that. Because True Vault Hunter mode, the drop chances are increased. You have mayhem levels to modify the game, and that increases drop chances and enemy stats too. It's like that's if you will like it for that gameplay loop, like that's where to get it. And unfortunately, you can't just start the game at True Vault Hunter mode. It would have been so much easier. The game just lets you start at True Vault Hunter mode. Once you beat it once with anybody, you can go back with other characters, start at True Vault Hunter mode, maybe start the game at like level 30 or something, and play it that way. But it won't let you. So I gotta waste my time playing through the whole campaign once, and then unlocking that mode. It's frustrating. There's no reason for it to do that.
Yeah, and then so towards the end of our extra live stream, uh, I had Assassin's Creed Valhalla installed and ready to go for when it unlocked on
Yeah.
Tuesday. So I jumped into that as soon as it unlocked, and
And
I thoroughly enjoy that game.
oh,
In fact,
what?
I would go so far as to say that that is probably my favorite open world video game of this year, or that I played this year.
Blasphemy! Blasphemy!
Um, I don't know. I really like this game. So,
Don't let Clay hear you say that. He's gonna be pissed. He's like, what?
oh,
What about Ghost of Tsushima?
it's way better than Tsushima, dude. It's way
Oh
better than
damn!
Tsushima.
Oh
uh,
damn!
like I have no trouble saying that. Like this game is I don't know, man. Like I played a little bit of Odyssey, and I don't know, that game just wasn't memorable at all to me. Like it was kind of
Mm-hmm.
just, just paint by numbers kind of stuff. And this,
Mm-hmm.
retreads a lot of the same ground. I mean, it's well worn territory at this point, but I don't know. I just really like the character Eivor. I like all the characters you meet along the way. A lot of the side quests. There's like interesting side quests to do.
Mm-hmm.
There's this one that you just walk up on this stuff and it's like, what the fuck going on here? Like I walked up on one that was like, this kid was just like shouting like, "Oh, I can't take it anymore," and then you find out that there's just their house is just filled with shit, and their father hasn't washed in like years, and they're like, and they kicked him out, and it's like, and there's this whole thing where it's like you go in there and like your health drains, you got to like carry out all like the piles of shit, and
Wait, what?
it was just this it's just this thing you just walk up on. There's just tons of stuff like that just scattered around, and you're just like, yeah, that was a thing. um, there was another one where this woman like she like throws her ring in the bottom of like the ocean, and she just has a bunch of suitors. She's like, if you find my ring, I'll allow you to suit me. And just a bunch of random dudes are like, oh, it's so cold, but I gotta find that ring. And you can just jump down and get it, and then bring it back to her, and she lets you fuck. Um, like I don't know, there's just like tons of like weird stuff like that. It's just scattered around. I just find it super interesting. Like
That's really cool.
none of it's really none of it's super enticing, or none of it like leads to anything greater. But it's I don't know. I
Just
just found
fun
it all
little
pretty
side
interesting.
activities.
Yeah, but then like the main story is it's broken up into these small uh the bigger story is broken up into small stories. So you like the whole point of it is you're kicked out of Norway. Not really kicked out, but you don't like what's happening in your homelands. So you
Mhm.
move to England to kind of just start a new settlement in England, but you don't have any friends there. So you kind of leave there to meet um some Nords who've gone there before you. But once you get there, you find out, oh, they're not there anymore. Um, so you kind of just start anew. You don't really have any friends there, so you're like trying to form alliances with the different kingdoms of England.
Mhm.
And so each kingdom has its own like story. So you go there, and it just has its own self-contained story. It's about like 3, 4, 5 hours of story, and then once that's done, it's its own segmented. It wraps up, and you just go to another location, and that starts its own story again. And I really like that because it's its own self-contained thing, and it's short and sweet. I mean, if you mainline it, because each region has its own like side stuff as well. But um, yeah, I felt, I don't know, a little more. I can get connected to the story a little bit more, where it had its own characters, and it had its own just short storyline. You can just follow that, and it ends, and you move on.
That's
Um,
good. That's good. I'm glad you liked it. I kind of want to check it out now because I don't know. I haven't played Assassin's Creed since like two, but everyone tells me like it's not like that anymore at all.
yeah, yeah.
And this looks like a good jumping in point now if you
Yeah,
like
I
it as
will
much as we
say,
do.
like, if you're two pixel in chat, what up? Hamtaro in chat, what up? Joker here,
But
guys. We do this show live. If you're listening to this later on any like podcast service, we do this live on Twitch.tv/Gameoverse. So jump in there, have a chat with us. But I will say with this game, and even like the previous, because this is, I guess, the third game in the current trilogy. So with these past three games, there really isn't a huge. There's more of a focus on straight fucking combat. You
mhm.
know, like you can do the assassin stuff, and actually, I find the assassin stuff, like going in stealthy, is like way more difficult than just running up on a motherfucker and cutting his head off. Like uh, the straight like the combat is a lot easier than the stealth. Because I don't know, they place enemies in a certain way where it's like, I don't really have the ability to, like, if I take this guy out, this other guy is gonna see me, like, and it's just gonna be a mess.
Like it's
Um,
encouraging you to play more like action focused.
Kind of. I mean, it encourages you to kind of do a little bit of both, like kind of whittle the enemies down with a little bit of stealth before they catch you, and then go in with your axe. Um, but there's a huge variety of like weapon types. There's like two-handed axes, and I found a flail. There's pikes and spears. You can dual wield axes. You can dual wield shields. There's a stamina
Dual wield
system.
shields.
Yeah, you can have a shield in both hands.
So if I just
um,
want like a beat a dude down with my sheet with two shields, I can do that.
yeah.
I love it.
Um, yeah, there's just a much larger emphasis on combat in these games, and
I'm into it.
there's like you can raid villages, and there's absolutely like no reason to raid them sometimes because they have like nothing, no treasure to take. You just run in and kill everyone, and just like, yeah, raid, and fucking just do it.
You gotta play
But
like a real Viking and raid churches because they got gold and people who don't know how to fight.
yeah, yeah, and you can do that. There's you can do that too. There's like designated areas where you are supposed to raid, and those have like you take their resources and stuff, and those are resources you bring back to your settlement, and you can build up like little like shops and stuff, or there's like little services you can build up. So like you can build up your stables, and then you can train your horse to like swim, and train your horse to have more stamina, or build up the blacksmith, and he'll upgrade your weapons and armor and stuff like that. Um,
I dig it.
yeah, it's really cool, man. I don't know. I'm not one of the people who are burned out by the series because I've kind of been just open world games in general. I've been avoiding them for the most part as a whole,
Yeah.
but I've been playing a lot of them this year specifically just to try to catch up. So I would tell
And
you
this is for
it's
sure the best one. For sure.
yeah. Maybe I still like Red Dead Redemption 2 a little better just because like that world is like extremely fleshed out, but that
Hmm.
one's very slow paced. This one's a good middle ground. It feels a lot like Red Dead, where there's just like strangers and just stuff to do everywhere. But it's got the combat. It's just better. It's just got slightly better pacing, even though if it's still a little slow in spots. Um, it's definitely not as slow as Red Dead, but I don't know. It's like Viking Red Dead. It's good. It's great. I like it.
Well, there you go, everybody. It's got the Wasabi seal of approval.
Yeah,
I'll definitely check it out. There's so many games I'm playing, but I'll check it out for sure.
yeah,
It looks good. I've been hearing good things about it through the grapevine.
yeah. So I did a quick look of that. Just first impressions video. That's up on our YouTube. It's up on the website. I also did one for Watch Dogs Legion. Um, Uninstalled that game. Don't think I'm not gonna play that anymore. After
Yeah,
playing
we talked
this,
about that one quite a bit on the podcast last week.
yeah, yeah. After playing this, I'm like, yeah, I'm done with Watch Dogs. This is all I'm gonna play now. So, but
Which good.
yeah,
You traded a mediocre game for a good one.
yeah,
I think that's fine.
yeah.
No shame in that. I'm still playing the same shit. Like, actually, oh, I just bought the expansion for Pokemon today because I have a problem. And
Gross.
I'm actually I'm gonna be playing that later today. I haven't had time. My wife and I have been hanging out all day. But I'll probably be playing that later, so that'll be cool. I'll have an opinion on it next week. I kind of regretted buying it after I got it, if I'm being honest with you, because I was like, I could have bought the expansion for Borderlands, but I'm glad I didn't because my computer took a shit on me. So, but yeah,
Yeah,
that's a thing I'm dealing with. But other than that, yeah, man. Still playing the same shit. I really want to play Path of Exile again. That was a lot of fun.
yeah.
Like
It's good,
once I get
man.
my computer boot, yeah, dude. Once I get my computer boot like working back up, I'll hit you up and we'll play some more. I had a lot of fun with that. Back into the news though. We have quite a bit. Well, not too much to go over, but it does warrant quite a bit of discussion.
Yeah,
Twitch has been having a huge just swath of DMCA takedowns. All kinds of people have been getting hit by them. People, especially bigger creators who had like a backlog of videos and clips, are getting hit by it. And I don't know too much about the mechanics behind it, but I do know that Twitch used to be pretty lenient about music, right? Like worst case scenario, just got muted if you played something that was copyrighted.
yeah. And this is like, and that's a good point because I don't know why it's a big deal now because when they did just used to mute the audio that was infringing. So I don't know why now they have to like go back and remove everything. But
Yeah, that's
um,
really weird to me because I did hear that because I looked into it a little bit when I heard this was happening.
yeah,
I just want to know like why is it that people built up these libraries if it was all copyrighted stuff anyway? And that's when I found out like, oh, they used to just mute your shit. So you didn't get a strike if you use copyrighted music. So you can listen to music during your podcast, or not during a podcast, during a stream, whatever. And the worst thing that would happen is it would get muted while those songs are playing. And
Yeah.
now that you have this backlog catalog of some people, thousands of videos, and any one of them can be copyright claimed. And again, Twitch's policy, 3 strikes, you're out. That's so shitty. It'd be really easy to get those 3 strikes with a system like this.
Yeah. Especially since, and we'll get into it because there's a lot to get into here. I think
Yeah.
uh a lot of people don't know, and first of all, I'm gonna say right off the bat here, fucking, we're not lawyers, we're not professionals, we're not experts at all in the least with this
Yeah.
with DMCA and stuff like that. So take whatever we have with a grain of salt. Anyone's welcome to just jump in and fucking correct us on that or send some hate mail like, oh, you dumb motherfucker. Like, I'm just saying right off the bat, we're not professionals, we're not lawyers. So with my limited
Yeah.
knowledge on this is there's a lot of misinformation, especially coming from Twitch, because their main focus right now is not so much in protecting their customers or the consumers or the streamers or their users, it's protecting themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So they put out this statement that just blatantly, not blatantly, but there's lies here, not lies, but there's a difference between, what's the wording here? Like the Digital Millennium Copyright Act is a set of U.S. laws that allows you to create and share content on digital service providers like Twitch. Like, this statement right here is false. This is not what DMCA is. It's not at all what it is. It has nothing to do with what the user can do. It has everything to do with what Twitch can do or what it allows Twitch to do. So when they say they say they have an obligation to do things under DMCA, that's not true. They're not obligated to do anything under DMCA. What it is, it's like it's an incentive. So when they get a DMCA claim, what they're allowed to do is because there can be infringing content on their platform without. This is the same way YouTube works as well, where it's there can be infringing content on their platform without their knowledge, and that's fine as long as they don't know about it. Once it's brought up to their attention, then they can remove it. But what YouTube does is YouTube allows the uploader to counterclaim, to say, no, this is my content. And when the user does that, that allows YouTube, or if Twitch did this, it would allow Twitch to say, okay, we're not complacent in this anymore. We're not liable anymore because the user takes all responsibility at that point when they say, no, this is my content. Twitch doesn't do that. Twitch assumes that every single DMCA notification is correct and just removes that content just outright, which is the problem because they don't defend the user at all, or they don't allow the user to even defend themselves. And it's let's see, it's important to note as well, the Copyright Office states that any even alleged infringements is an infringement. So when they say 3 strikes, when you say multiple offenses, even being alleged an offense is an offense, even if it's not proven.
Oh, that's frustrating.
Yeah. So that's where it gets especially fucked. Because Twitch is completely within their right to just straight up remove your shit. It's actually in their terms of service. The wording is, yeah. Let me see if I can pull up the terms of service actually. Which it's like there's a lot of shit here because there's failings on three ends here. The service provider Twitch is fucking up, as well as like YouTube and shit like that. Um, the music industry is fucking up because they're just taking advantage of some very old wording and shit like that. But it's also um, like games are fucking up as well, like game publishers and shit like that, man. Like I think all of this stuff is very antiquated and because the DMCA Act was like signed in what was it like 1998? Yeah.
Yeah, 98, 99. Which, stuff like what we're doing now, streaming especially was not a thing back then. So I think I've heard the argument before that it needs to be re-examined and reevaluated to match current trends,
Yeah.
but that's not going to happen anytime soon. I don't want to be negative, but I don't think it is going to happen anytime soon. It is a frustrating situation to be in because like how the fuck what are you supposed to do? I've heard stories that a lot of like really big names, like Pokimane, for example, she had to go through like thousands of archive videos and just delete anything preemptively so she doesn't get hit. And three strikes over like thousands of videos, like it's really easy to just lose everything from that.
Yeah, but here's the thing: even when you go back and delete that stuff, it's still on Twitch's. People are still getting strikes, even after they've deleted all their shit.
Oh, it's so frustrating.
Um, which is fucked up because here's shouts out to Devin Nash. He does like a bunch of like law stuff on Twitch, and yeah, they're still being DMCA'd for clips and VODs they deleted because it's still on Twitch's
Ah,
servers.
so frustrating.
So, and this is
Ah,
like Twitch is telling people to do this as well. They're telling people, hey, just go back and delete your shit, and it'll be fine. But it's not fine.
well, I mean, it's frustrating because one, again, if you've been on the platform for a while, you stream a lot. That's a fucking day and a half at least of going through everything and trying to think of like what might be misconstrued as avoiding someone's copyright. And it's frustrating to have to take your time to do that. How can one person do that? I don't think they could.
Yeah.
If
Well,
you gave me if you gave me this catalog of like 5,000 clips and told me go through them, get rid of everything that has like copyrighted music, it's like, well, that's not feasible.
it's feasible because Twitch is adding new tools, such as a clips mass deletion tool.
Oh,
uh,
jeez.
so like, yeah, so they're giving people that option now. Um, And then they're also saying like this also extended into games as well, where like games will have like their own music, or I've been playing Watch Dogs, and what you get into a car in that game, and like the radio starts playing. As far as I know, I've not gotten any DMCA claims, but I wouldn't know because like Twitch has like this is completely unrelated, but like I've not been able to verify the Twitch account email since the day I created it. So like our email is
Oh,
unverified. I'm not getting emails to our account. And then I emailed the support and they were like, "Oh well, it's got to be the email has to be the one on your account." I'm like, "It is the one on my account because I just emailed you from it, like, and you emailed me back to it." So that's a
oh my
problem.
God. Yeah.
Twitch support is completely fucking useless. But like even like the games industry is fucking this up because so let's see. and this is like their shit is completely like condescending. It's like, oh, you should educate yourself on the ways that DMCA works, and it's like, no, you could probably, um, have the back of your, I don't call them employees, but basically, like, we're the ones that make your site function. Like, without the streamer, there would be no Twitch. So you
Yeah.
should probably have our best interests in mind. But um, if you're playing games with recorded music in them, we recommend you review their end user license agreements. So if you actually do that, if you go and read, I wish I had like a
Like an
highlighting tool.
example.
I'm gonna have to like go back and like find like a highlighting. So I pulled up the Ubisoft license agreement here. Um, and yeah, like this is where I wish I had some highlighting, but it pretty much there's nothing in here that says you are allowed to even stream the game. I mean, streaming is like and it's an unwritten agreement between the streamer and the game publisher. It's an unwritten agreement that says no, you can stream this game, it's fine. But there's nothing in the end user license agreement that says you have the right to stream this game or you have the right to the audio that this game contains. There's nothing in here that says anything of the sort. So
I could actually argue for that. So reason you're not going to see that explicitly stated in the user agreement or the software user agreement is because when you start including things like licensed music, let's say for example, like we make a game and we put licensed music on it from other artists, the agreement is to have it in the game. If we put in the user agreement for people who are going to use it that you're okay to stream it, suddenly that contract that we wrote isn't what we agreed to anymore because it's not just in the game. Now it's expected to be streamed. So they still have that plausible deniability. If someone streams it, gets a copyright strike, or these bands get pissed off that people are streaming their music, quote unquote, for free, quote unquote. Ubisoft has plausible deniability, like, oh, we never said they could stream it. Our deal was to put it in the game. That's all we did. What they do with it, that's on them.
yeah, but if they're gonna go so far as to use streamers as a promotional material for their game,
Yeah.
they need to have some protections in there for the
Oh, I
streamer.
agree. I agree completely. I
Um,
totally agree. But that's a legal
yeah,
bullshit reason why it's not
but
explicitly
again,
stated in the
it's
agreement.
something that they should also fix.
Yeah,
Like I
I
get
agree.
that they don't own the rights to that. Neither does a streamer, but there should be some language in there that's like, well, because there's nothing in here that even says anything about streaming. There's these like agreements. They need to be updated.
No, I agree. I totally
Um,
agree. They're very unfriendly, and there's not with the way the user agreements are written, there's not a lot of like wiggle room or protection for streamers.
the
It
way
doesn't
that
outright say that it's meant for streaming. It's frustrating as shit.
the way that live streaming has worked since its inception is just this like unspoken, unwritten agreement that this is okay. Even we talked about it when like the Stadia guy was like, as soon as they decide to not allow it, it's gonna go away, which is true. If they decide to
Hmm.
not allow it, they can not allow it, but they would not do that because it would be crippling for like both sides. But
Hmm.
there's also no language in here that says it's allowed as well. So when it's taken from you, there's no protections is what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
um it's fucked up on all sides. So like people were getting claimed for like the music in Destiny that was like created specifically for that game. Like this wasn't like You know,
Yeah,
it
I
wasn't
remember
like
that.
Ringo Starr coming out and being like, "Hey, it's my song." It's it was like it's music for Destiny and only for Destiny in the game, and it's getting claimed by whoever the fuck. Um, like I think I heard like the sirens in GTA were getting claimed because they were like part of a licensed sound pack, like
Oh
stuff
my
like that.
God, what?
Yeah,
God, that's
like
frustrating as a motherfucker.
this shit is a mess, and
Yeah, it is.
it's like there's multiple sides to it that need to be fixed. It's not just like, oh, Twitch is fucking up, oh, the music industry's fucking up, or like everyone's fucking up, and it just I don't like it's going to be a mess for like a while. This isn't something that's going to be fixed overnight. It's frustrating.
It is, and you're right. There should be more protection for people who are going to be streaming, like especially if like game publishers are going to be betting from it or benefiting from it, with the free promotion and the community that builds around it. There should be language like tied into the license agreement when you buy the game that any copyrighted material in there is okay for streaming,
Yeah,
like whether it's licensed music or sound packs or anything. And if those developers need to shell out more money to get these deals done so they can explicitly state that in their contracts, fine, they should do it. They shouldn't rely on other people to do that legwork for them. It's frustrating. It's probably
um,
never going to happen, but
Cooking is fun
you can
says,
dream.
would I get in trouble if I had a movie playing in the upper left of the screen if it's in another language while I play a game in the majority of the stream? No, you wouldn't. See, so here's the thing. It's DMCA is only applicable when the platform has like knowledge of it. Um
Yeah.
the service provider has to have knowledge of it. So like if no one's watching it, you know that old saying like if a tree falls in the woods and no one's around to hear it, does it make a sound? Well, in the case of DMCA, no, it doesn't make a sound. Uh
Hmm.
Now if someone does hear it and they tell Twitch about it, and they say, "Hey, my tree fell," and they're like, "Oh shit, go fucking take care of that tree." I don't know if this analogy works at all, but
I thought you were gonna bring it home, but you didn't. I was kind of, but I hear what you're saying. Like it needs to be someone needs to recognize it and report it for it to be a problem.
yeah, that's what they're not. Twitch rules DMCA as an obligation. We're obligated to remove this because it's happening, but they're not.
Hmm.
They are they're only they have to be compliant of DMCA, which means if it's brought to their knowledge, then they have to remove it, or if they see it, then they'll remove it. Um, it's
Well, at the same time, they can't like walk around with their hands on their eyes, like I don't see it, I don't see it, I don't see it. Like
um they they can't they can I
again,
yeah
we're
I
not
don't know.
lawyers. Like again, we're not
Yeah,
lawyers,
yeah.
so take what we're saying with a grain of salt here.
I'm
But
only stepping around that because I think they do in a lot of situations when it comes to like the big streamers where they can just pretend to not know about certain things, or um but
or
like
even
when
then work with these bigger streamers. Like if it comes up, like anything, what they should do is anything going forward with how aggressive they're being. Anything going forward should count as a strike, so these streamers know. But anything in their backlog, they should just let them know ahead of time, like, hey, we got this copyright claim. You have like 48 hours to remove it from your catalog, or also get a strike. But just going
well
straight to a strike, like that's fucked up.
they should also allow the users to like counter claim to say like
That too.
no, like this is I'm within my right to stream this. Because if they like because what if they did have a license to stream that music? What if I talked to Disney and they gave me the right to like stream Mulan on my channel, but someone comes in and is like, you don't have the right to do that, or like it's just automatically flagged. So I think it's just robots doing it now, where it's just like flagging everything that matches a
Yeah,
certain AI. Um, like if that
I
happens
hear
and
you.
I actually have the right to do this, they don't care. They don't allow me to
To stake your
counter it.
claim.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's frustrating. Copyright law, especially like international copyright law and digital copyright law is it's frustrating. It
yeah.
is so frustrating.
There's a good YouTube channel called Hoeg Law, Hoeg Law, that that talks about this pretty in depth. So if anyone wants to know like the specifics on exactly how this stuff works, get it from a lawyer. Um,
Yeah.
don't
Yeah, take
come
what
to
we're saying
us.
with a grain of salt. Don't listen to we're not lawyers. We're just two dudes who like video games.
Yeah,
And we have a
I
lot of
just
opinions, a lot of
it's
uneducated opinions.
for us. I know it's business as usual. Um,
Yeah.
I'm not going to change anything what we're doing here. Uh, if we do get like claims and shit, fucking, we'll just go somewhere else. I imagine that's what anyone else would do. Even the big wigs would be like, fuck it, fuck Twitch, let's just go somewhere else. And yeah, I don't know. Twitch is owned by Amazon, and Amazon has Amazon Music, and I'm sure they could figure something the fuck out, right? I
Yeah.
mean, figure it out, Twitch. Like, this is fucked. Have the back, like, have your people, have your streamers' backs, man. Like,
Yeah.
if nothing else, this just proves how fucking Twitch just is only out for themselves in this. They're just trying to cover their own ass, and that sucks. I mean, for a business, I don't know. Is it good for a business or is it bad for a business to just have the business's uh, best interest in mind? But do they really have their best interest in mind when they don't have their fucking consumers in mind? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
Interesting.
That's a lot of questions there I don't have the answer to. All we
Yeah.
know is just if you take away anything from this, just watch your shit. Be careful.
Yeah.
Try to play games with music off if you can, because we don't know how long this is gonna go for.
Yeah. If you're worried about
It's
it. Me,
if you're
I'm
worried
not
about it.
fucking I'm not gonna fucking I'm gonna rise up. Fuck the system. Who's with me?
Yeah, fuck you. I won't do what you tell me. Bulls on parade. Rage Against the
Yeah.
Machine.
Yeah.
In other news, if we're while we're on the subject of big faceless corporations fucking up technology, Apple had an event the other day. Like that segue there.
Yeah.
They just
Beautiful.
announced their new Mac, which is running on their new ARM-based M1 chip. I've never heard of that before. What is that?
So Apple, they created you've probably heard of Apple's silicone, or what the fuck do they
Yeah,
call it? Silicone. Apple silicone? Is that what it's called?
something like that.
Anyway, they're making their own chips now. They've been doing it for a while, but now it's like official. Um,
Hmm.
they've only been doing it in their like mobile uh in their mobile stuff, like, you've heard like the A11 chip or whatever the fuck in
Yeah,
their
I do remember
iPhones.
that.
Now they're branching it out and putting it in their like their laptops and their like desktops now. So that's what the M1 chip is. It's an ARM based chip, which ARM is like the other. There's Intel, there's ARM. Uh, all their chips were like
And
based on Intel in the past. Now their silicone is based on ARM, I guess, or at least the M1 is. So what is it exactly? Well, they announced three new products, and I guess they're borrowing from the Nintendo naming scheme. I'm not an Apple fan. I'll just say that right up front here. I'm not an Apple guy, so I don't really follow what Apple does 'cause I just don't fucking care.
yeah,
Um,
that's fair.
but all their products, when they announced them, uh, they had like very Nintendo like naming of the new MacBook Air, the new MacBook Pro, and the new Mac Mini.
Yes, I do.
So
They actually had that years ago with I think it was like the fourth, fifth generation of like iPads. It was really stupid. I
do
remember
they
when I was
just
still at
not?
Best Buy.
They don't
When
put
I was still at
numbers
Best
on
Buy, a
anything.
lot of people. So what they did is that I can't remember because I left Best Buy a little bit after that, but I would get all kinds of people come in like confused with the naming conventions, like, oh, which one's better, like the iPad Mini 4 or the new iPad Mini? And it's like it's just a stupid fucking name.
Yeah.
And I'd have to explain everything. It was really dumb. But yeah, they've always had these really dumb naming conventions. At least recently they have.
So Apple
And it's
claims that their M1 chip has the world's fastest CPU core, the world's best CPU performance per watt, and the world's fastest integrated GPU. Now, this is what they claim, with no like, no backing, no they. I I watched this thing. And I thought it was very misleading because
yeah.
they claimed a lot of things, showed a lot of charts with like nothing on them, like they said versus the leading Intel, or they didn't even say Intel. They just said the leading laptop, and we're like, okay, well, what is this like versus? What is this like? What are we testing here? What's the actual
Yeah.
like? What are
Like,
the
what are
real
these numbers
numbers?
against?
Like they didn't show. Like when AMD comes out and shows their competitive product against Nvidia, they came out and say, here's the NVIDIA RTX 2090, and here's, or the 3090, and here's what our shit is against that. Like,
Hmm.
Apple doesn't do that. They just said, no, here's what it is versus this other laptop. And we're like, what the fuck is that? Like, we don't know what that is. Um, like they said, versus the best selling desktop or some shit. And then they show this like HP thing, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? Like, I don't know what the fuck that is. The best selling desktop? Anyway, I feel like this is very misleading. So I would like to see some actual fucking numbers here. But so they claim it's the fastest and fucking shit like that. So the new MacBook Air will be $999, fanless, 400 nit display, headphone jack, and 18-hour battery life.
Not bad.
Very
I mean,
nice.
so I got a headphone jack, so that's cool.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like it doesn't
Um,
matter so much to me
yeah.
on like a desktop laptop. But I'm a man who likes his headphone jack on like my phone, even though I don't have it anymore. But yeah. The new MacBook Pro, $1,300, 500 nit P3 display, touch bar, headphone jack, 20-hour battery life, and
Not bad.
the new Mac Mini, $700. Is important to note. I didn't write this in the notes here, but that's not expandable. I
Yep,
think
the Mac Minis. I think they've always been like standard, like pre-established little
from what
machines.
little I know about Apple products, I'm pretty sure the previous Mac Mini you could like at least expand the RAM on there.
If
Um,
you could, I don't remember it. I've been out of. I haven't worked at
yeah,
Best Buy in forever, so I haven't had to pay attention to that shit in forever.
I'm not totally
So
sure.
if you
Do you
could, I don't
have to pay
remember it.
attention to it if you're selling it in Best Buy? Do you like have to know the fucking bullet points?
Yeah.
Really?
So part of it is being if I worked in computers, Apple paid a lot of money to like train. This is the thing people don't get is that Apple like puts a lot of money into their advertising spaces. That's why the Apple computers are so far away from like the Windows computers. And if you go to a Best Buy or any computer store, you'll see like a specific Apple section with Apple, all the Apple products are together with the Apple logo everywhere, and they pay to train associates. And back when I was still there, there was a position that was provided by Apple. Like they paid the working hours for these employees to
Huh.
be specific Apple trained employees.
See, but are you like
And
allowed to tell people like what it really is, or do you have to just tell them what you paid to tell them? Because like,
so you are encouraged to tell them the truth of what they want to hear without bad mouthing the product. So I can't go outright and say, oh no, Apple sucks. You don't want that. But if someone tells me like their price range, what they're using it for, okay, based on what you told me, I think Apple might not be the best fit for what you're telling me. And
Okay.
then move them to something else. You know what I mean?
Okay. That's
Like
good.
if you walk in, like, oh, I want like a gaming computer. I want something that's gonna run fucking. I want something that's gonna run the new Watch Dogs at max settings. I'm not allowed to be like, well, Apple's a piece of shit. It's not gonna do that.
Yeah.
I would have to say like, oh, if that's what you want, let's look at the MSI computers. Those might be better for what you're telling me. And it was a weird like trip. If anyone got caught shit talking products, they would get in a lot of trouble.
Wow.
Especially if God forbid like there was like an Apple rep there, like hearing you say something like that, like they can get you in a lot of trouble if they complain to a manager.
Yeah. All right. Cutthroat.
Yeah,
Fucking over there at
it is.
Apple,
It's
but
very, very aggressive, man. That back at like my old store. So I used to work at a smaller store before Best Buy. It was called Curaçao. If you've never heard of it, there's a reason for that. It's kind of shitty. It's really small. They've only had a couple stores across the country. I think they only had like 5 stores at the time I was working there across the country. Most of them were like in like California. But when I was working there, you were only allowed to sell Apple products if you had a certain level of like Apple mastery. So I think with Apple, it's like there's like copper, silver, gold, and like master or something. You had to be at least gold to sell Apple products, or else the store could pay a fine for every Apple product that was sold outside of that. So, like, let's say you worked in TVs and someone wanted to buy a MacBook on top of the TV, you were not trained in Apple, you were not allowed to sell it. You would have to
wow.
ring it up in a separate transaction, bring someone from computers who was trained in Apple products to sell it. And they wouldn't provide you time to do it. I remember working at Curaçao and they would tell me, oh, your Apple rankings like expiring, you need to go back on your computer and redo this ranking, or else I wouldn't be able to sell Apple products while I was working there.
That's weird as fuck. I know like
Yeah.
Microsoft has there's like Microsoft certifications you can get. Um
Yeah. And it was similar. Like when I was at Best Buy, we had like Microsoft representatives who were paid. So they weren't paid directly by Microsoft, but Microsoft would pay Best Buy. They'd be like, oh, we're gonna pay X amount of like working hours if you have a Microsoft rep in the store. And if you code that person in your system as a Microsoft representative, then we'll basically pay their wage or help supplement it.
hmm.
And it was really, and that was the only store I've worked at that did that. Curaçao didn't have a Microsoft rep or an Apple rep, but Apple was super strict. Like we want everyone who's selling Apple to be Apple certified and know what the fuck they're talking about. And when I went to Best Buy, it wasn't like that big a deal. They were just like, whatever. As long as you're not like telling people Apple sucks, we don't care. I think they were stricter on Curaçao because they were a much smaller store. You know what I mean? The foot traffic, I don't think was as big as Best Buy. So I think that's why they're stricter with them, but I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
There's a little behind the scene behind the scenes thing there, a peek behind the curtain for all of you,
yeah. That's
how
the
retail
Apple
works.
hour. I'm very much not an Apple guy. None of this is convincing me to buy an Apple product. I will probably never buy another Apple product in my life. I'm not, I used to have an iPhone. I used to have an iPad. Um, and the second I got an Android, I was like, oh, I'm done with that. Done with
That's what
that.
everyone keeps telling me. I've only had iPhone, I've only had iPad. I've used Windows my whole life for computers,
Yeah.
but for
I,
my
I'm
smartphone and stuff, I always use Apple.
I'm
I've
very
never
much a
had an issue
power
with it.
user, and
Yeah.
when I got my Android, it could do things natively that I would have to jailbreak my iPhone to do.
Yeah.
And that's when I got my Android. I was like, oh, I accidentally updated and lost my jailbreak and all the cool shit I could do. Let me check out this Android, and oh, it just does that thing that I had to hack my thing to do. Okay, so
Yeah, It's frustrating. So there you go, you people who like are huge Apple fanatics who are gonna go out and buy the newest Apple product. There's
Yeah.
a reason to drop your money on it. Um, I'm the kind of person who believes there's a tool for every job, but I can't see a tool, or I should say, I can't see a job that Apple can do better than another product that's either similarly priced or cheaper. Like that's my big thing. Is I think
Well,
they cost way more than what they're offering.
the whole thing with Apple is like the Apple ecosystem and fucking
Yeah.
like you can't get by with just one Apple product. You have to have your whole house has to run on Apple. And that's the problem that I have. I don't know. Like at least when I like use Google, I can use like Google Drive on my like Windows. I'm sure it works in Apple too, actually. But that's the thing. If I'm not using all Apple products, then why am I using one to begin with? Like, I like everything to just be platform agnostic. Like, I can use
Yeah.
Firefox, and it just works on my Android, and I can use Google Drive, and it just works on Linux and everything else. Just no matter what I'm using, it just grows on everything. Um, I use Google Drive to keep my RetroArch saves synced. Whenever I make a save in RetroArch, it just automatically uploads to my Google Drive, and then I have a handheld that I can has Google Drive on it, and my saves are automatically just there. Really cool stuff. If I was using Apple, it wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
uh,
It's frustrating. I mean, we'll see what. I mean, people who are gonna buy it are already gonna buy it. Like you can say to like change their minds on it. But
yeah,
if you're not inducted into the cult of Apple yet, I don't think this is gonna change your mind.
it's Apple. It's exciting. The one thing I'll say is, I don't know those ARM. I'm pretty sure like didn't Nvidia invest heavily in ARM? Was that Nvidia?
I don't remember.
Uh,
I don't know at all.
I remember a while back, I thought it was Nvidia like did some huge thing with ARM. Hold on, let's see. Because this could, yeah, Nvidia will acquire ARM for $40 billion. So that's
Jesus.
that's an Nvidia joint now.
There we go.
So cool stuff. We'll see if anything comes of that. If Nvidia can do some graphical shit with these MacBooks, that would be impressive. They showed
Yeah.
some games running on these things, like Baldur's Gate 3. They showed and Beneath a Steel Sky, which I thought was weird to show, but
It's really weird specific game to be showing off or whatever.
yeah, yeah.
Um, we'll have to wait and see what they do. In other news though, which bums me out because my fucking computer's not working, but we got a bunch of games coming to Game Pass now. On top of EA Play coming to Game Pass on December 15th, which is available on console now. Remind me, it's not free with Game Pass. You need to have like Game Pass Ultimate to do it, right?
Yeah, Game Pass Ultimate, and then uh that includes like the XCloud streaming, and that includes uh yeah,
It
Game
includes Game Pass
Pass.
on console,
Yeah.
Game Pass on PC, and EA Play.
Ultimate is a
And I
better
think,
deal on console than it is on PC because
yeah,
console just includes a lot more stuff.
yeah. So we'll see with EA Play coming to PC if they're gonna have a different price point for people who just want it on PC, or if they're
Doubt
gonna
it.
force you to buy Ultimate again.
But also with EA Play, they're also adding a select couple of games to the Android game streaming, which is fucking awesome. Uh, Adding Madden 20, Dragon Age Inquisition, Mass Effect Andromeda, Mirror's Edge Catalyst, Plants vs. Zombies, Garden Warfare 2. Here's the big one: Sims 4 and Unravel 2. Um, this is key. I don't know if it is huge, but it has the potential to be huge.
Yeah, I mean,
Sims 4 on
anytime people like invest into streaming and stuff like that, it's a pretty big deal because no one's like cracked it quite yet. So
just
it's cool to see EA doing that.
Sims 4 on Android, play it wherever you are. That's huge. I mean, it's one of the biggest games on the planet.
Yeah.
For in the casual market. And say like Madden 20 is huge. Like those are two huge games that you can just play in your pocket, just whip it out and just start playing.
Just whip
Like
it out,
watch,
play with it. Doesn't matter
yeah,
who's watching.
on the bus,
On
on the train, just whip it out.
the
Get some
bus, on a
eyeballs. Like,
train, on the
what is
beach, on a
that?
plane.
You show the guy next to you, and you're like, look at this. That was in my
Oh,
pocket.
that took a weird turn.
Uh, yeah, but that's really cool. I'm interested to see. I really want to try XCloud, but if I try it, I want to stream it, and I want to find a way, the best way to do that. Because from what I understand, there's no like PC client for that, unless I'm wrong about that. Um, if there is, then I will download that and install it. But this is really cool. So yeah, EA games on
On
Android, really
Game
cool.
Pass.
And then
Oh, we got another couple games announced too. Like Gears Tactics is coming out on Android and on console.
yeah,
Which, if you haven't played it yet, it's like an XCOM clone with Gears of War elements. Side note, another thing I forgot to mention, I was on a Gears of War kick for a little while when I saw Gears Ultimate Edition was on PC. I downloaded that, played it. It runs like shit. And I thought it was my computer for the longest time, but I looked it up, like, no, everyone's just runs like shit.
I don't remember having issues with that game.
I had a lot of frame rate drops, and I thought it was like my computer just couldn't handle it or something. But I was like, no, my specs, according to the recommended specs, I should be fine.
I remember
And
that
I looked it
game
up
being
online. A
from
lot of people
what
were complaining.
I remember saying about that game that it was one of the most well optimized PC games ever. I've been
Gears of War
quoted saying
Ultimate or
that.
Gears of War 4?
Oh, you know what? That was four.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was
yeah.
four.
I
You're
remember. I
right.
was there when you made that quote.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Gears Ultimate runs like dog shit, though.
Maybe I have to go
It
back and
has
try that.
frame rate drops for no reasons. Download it right now. It's on Game Pass. Download it,
Yeah.
play it. You'll see what I mean. Like if things get too like there's too many bullets flying, the frame rate just tanks, dude. And I don't understand why. Like I said, I thought it was just my rig, and I was like, maybe I just can't handle it. But I was like, no, I looked up the recommended specs, and I'm like, no, it should be fine. And I found other people who had better performing PCs than mine who also couldn't handle it. So
Huh.
it's just not optimized well. Um, but we also have Destiny 2 Beyond Light coming to Android and console, Planet Coaster coming to console and Android. Tetris Effect is coming to console and PC, as well as Final Fantasy VII Remastered is now available on console and PC. That one I'm surprised wasn't on sooner because Final Fantasy 9 and 8, I believe, are both on Game Pass, as well as like 15. So it's weird that 7 Remastered wasn't, but I'm glad it is
Yeah.
now.
Well, that's eight. This one's eight.
Oh, that is 8. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
read it wrong.
Roman numerals.
My bad. I read it wrong. But it's weird that 8 wasn't on there. Even 8, because like 9 was already on there. I know because I was going through the store. And
Yeah.
it was like, I saw you download a Final Fantasy 15. You want to download 9? And I'm like, no, thank you. But I'm glad you're there.
Nine is like it's weird because nine is like not a slap. Like people recommend nine a lot as their like the best one.
It's a
Uh,
good game. I'm
yeah.
not shit talking. It's a good game. But like
I haven't
it's
played
weird
it.
to me that like it took 8 so long to get out there.
Yeah.
Um Also Gunner 2 is coming on Android. Streets of Rogue is coming out on PC.
Good game.
Ark Survival Evolved Explorers Edition is also coming out on Android console and PC November 17th. Along with the Halo Master Chief Collection, Halo 4 is getting an update for Halo 4 November 17th. So if you're a sucker like me and you went out and bought the Master Chief Collection on Steam before you heard about Game Pass, you can
I
get that.
bought that game on Xbox One and it didn't carry over. So
Yeah, I remember hearing about that. We also got River City Girls coming out Android console and PC November 19th, which I've wanted to try for a long time. I'm a huge fan of beat 'em ups,
yeah.
and I heard River City Girls is really, really good, and I can't wait to try that November 19th. if I can get my fucking computer working. We also have Star Renegades coming out also on Android and console November 19th. So that's cool, man. We got quite a bit of stuff coming. You know, Game Pass is just it's the gift that keeps on giving, dude. Like I know we plug it a lot in this show, but I swear to God, we're not paid by Microsoft to say this. It's just a really good service.
I want to know why Beyond Light is not on PC Game Pass. I'm a little upset by that because I'm not trying to drop $40 on an expansion that I'm not even ready to play yet. I mean, like, I still got some grinding to do to get my light level up to where, I don't know. I'm assuming I would have to do that, but I don't
It
know.
is weird that it's taking a while to get on there, but I'm sure it's coming soon. I mean, Game Pass has been pretty awesome with all their stuff coming up, so we'll see.
Yeah. Or maybe it's
I'm
already on
excited.
PC.
Maybe you just haven't checked.
Yeah, because I know like some of this stuff is already on PC and it just says Android and console. So I don't know.
I'm really excited. I know I've talked about this every week, but I'm really excited that the Bethesda Microsoft deal, because once those new Bethesda games drop, I don't have to pay $60 to play them. I just have them on Game Pass, and I'm excited for that.
Yeah, my question is for those like Elder Scrolls and Fallout games is the modability of those. Now I know the Xbox app has like you can enable they have mod support in those in the app, but I'm not sure how far that goes. Like typically you don't have full unrestricted access to the files. Um, so I'd be interested to know how that works. Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be cool to see. I mean, I'm excited to see what they do with it. Um, in other news, we do have quite a few trailers and quickies to go over. The Nioh Collection was announced on PS5, and that launches next February. It's going to include Nioh 1 as well as 2, with all the DLC content, also enhanced for PS5, which a lot of people liked Nioh. I played the demo, and I thought it was hard as shit. But a
It's
lot of
one of
people
those
told me the
games.
demo was way harder. A lot of people told me the demo was way harder than the main game is.
Yeah, the demo starts you like in the middle of some shit. Like it's not representative of how you start and where you would be if you started from the beginning in that game. But
Yeah,
this
which
is
I
also
noticed
coming to
after like
PC.
dying and coming back, I was fine. Oh, it is coming to PC.
Yeah, this is well, Neo 2 is coming to PC.
Ah, okay.
Because the first game's already on PC.
Yeah.
Um, the
Um,
second one is not.
I haven't played Neo 1 yet. People tell me I would like it because I'm a huge fan of the Onimusha games. Remember those?
Yeah,
Capcom used to do way back in the day. I'm a huge fan of that, and people tell me like this is as close as you're gonna get to Onimusha unless Capcom decides to make another one. So maybe I'll give it a try. Neo 1 can't be that expensive on PC now.
yeah.
Um, Another fun little bit of news that Xbox and the new Call of Duty caused record broadband data use in the UK. Unprecedented numbers of broadband data across the United Kingdoms was used for Call of Duty. I always thought those kinds of numbers would be attached to something porn related, and I'm glad it's not.
um, it wasn't just Call of Duty. It was like a combination of shit. So
Yeah.
they said factors that may have fed into Tuesday's figures include Activision releasing updates to Call of Duty Modern Warfare and Warzone that range up to 65 gigabytes in size,
Oh shit.
preloads of Black Ops Cold War up to 130 gigabytes, which launched on Friday, an update to Bungie's video game Destiny 2 that was about 65 gigabytes, as well as a live event inside the title. They had a live event for the Light Beyond Light launch, which is
Fuck,
not it's
really?
not the
That is
first
cool.
time. It's not the first time they've done that. They've been doing like world events like live in the game have been happening for a while,
That's really
um,
cool.
and I always miss it, but they sound really cool. Um, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which was 60 gigs. Even if users bought the game in disc, they still face downloading an 8 gigabyte day one update.
Oof. Okay, so all those combined, just everyone was using up that internet, which is cool.
Yeah.
It'll probably get beaten out once what's her name? Fucking sells the bathwater. What's her name? You know what I'm talking about.
Belle Delphine.
Yeah, it'll probably get beaten out once Belle Delphine like does a sex tape. But right now, those are the numbers we got.
He's been making the rounds, man. Well, I don't know if you know anything about Belle Delphine, but she does not show anything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the day she does drop a sex tape, the day someone's like, "Yo,
Okay.
how much is
Yeah.
it gonna cost to get you to get you to take some dick on camera?" Like the second like someone finds that number, the internet's gonna crash.
She's been making the rounds lately. She's been hitting up like different shows and different podcasts and stuff. So
Yeah, I saw her on a podcast I check out with Max Mofo called Cold Ones. They had a show where like Belle Delphine like sent them like a gift box, and it was like a surprising, like really like well thought out gift box. Like I don't know if like she's legitimately a fan of the show. She claims she is, but I don't know if she really is, or if like just she had like someone put it together for her. But it was a box filled with like references to the show, past episodes. She got them like handmade figures. Like there was a lot of work. I was like, that's actually a really thoughtful gift. Cool on you. I
wow,
bet she's a cool person. Like all jokes aside, like I bet she's a really cool person.
she's a businesswoman.
Yeah, she's a businesswoman, and I respect the hell out of her hustle. Anyone that can get desperate men to literally buy your bathwater, like that's some hustle, dude. That's some hustle. It's a
I
hustle I
mean, let's
wish
be
I had.
honest here. Probably not actually her bathwater, just labeled as such. I mean,
She claims up and down it is. The
okay.
podcast I saw her in, she claimed like, no, it was me. I took like fucking 10 hours of baths to do it. But well, I don't know, man. We'll see. Like until someone proves otherwise, that's all we got. Um, where were we again? Right. My so quickies. Minecraft Dungeons is getting a cross-platform play November 17th for Switch, PS4, PC, Xbox One. Minecraft Dungeons is like a Diablo clone Minecraft spin-off,
Yeah,
which I haven't played yet. Everyone
pretty
tells
fun.
me I should because I'm a huge Diablo fan. You played it?
It's not gonna listen. Okay, it's not gonna scratch that Diablo itch at all.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is
that's what
a
everyone I feel like it would.
super casual. It's not. It's a
Yeah.
super casual, just action adventure game for
Yeah,
kids.
it's baby's first Diablo is what it looks
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
Which is fine, man. I mean that itch has got to start somewhere. I mean, a lot of people who suck dick for heroin probably started with weed. I'm just saying. It's got to start
Uh,
somewhere.
um. So yeah, this update's gonna drop on November 17th, and yeah, this is huge for this game.
Yeah.
It's a fun game, and when you can play with your friends, no matter what console, fully support that. So
Yeah, it's great. Especially like I know a lot of kids now, are gonna play on different systems. So it's cool that the kid who has like a Switch can play with his friends who have a PlayStation.
yeah,
Like
they don't have
that's
to
the
get
main
made
thing I'm
fun of.
looking at it. Yeah,
They don't have to get
exactly.
made fun of in school because they chose the inferior console, which
Exactly.
happens.
And
That
it
happens,
does
by the way.
happen. It happens now. It wasn't like as big a thing when I was a kid, but
Yeah,
now that big gaming's become like so mainstream, like kids are mean.
like they get
Kids
made
are
fun of for
mean.
like not having the lit Fortnite skins.
Yeah. In other news, this is something I don't really know too much about, but AEW, which stands for, I just Googled it, All Elite Wrestling, is teaming up with, or they're publishing their own wrestling game, I should say, and it's developed by Yukes. Those of you who don't know, Yukes actually has a hand in a ton of, I don't want to sound conceited, but combat sports games, WWE, UFC. They've produced and developed a lot of them. Um, So it's cool to see, All Elite Wrestling, which is like another like wrestling, uh, how could I word it? Show. It's not WWE, it's not Raw, but
Yeah.
AEW. It's their own thing that they're teaming up with Yukes to make this game. I don't follow wrestling at all. I've never heard of All Elite Wrestling until this podcast.
Really?
But yes, really, I don't watch wrestling, dude. I'm
Neither do I,
I don't.
but I mean, I at least know Kenny Omega and AEW. The guys that make this stuff up are or like the guys that run AEW, they're all like fucking gamers and nerds and shit. So like they know, I trust them to know what people would want out of a game like this.
Oh yeah.
Now, me personally, I don't give a fuck about wrestling anymore. I'm of the mind that like these wrestling, they're trying to bank on nostalgia with this stuff, which I get it. Like, WWF No Mercy was fun. Highly regarded wrestling game of its time, but we can do better than that, guys. Like this is like, from what I understand, that's what they're aiming for, is that kind of stuff. The guys behind this are like behind that game, and my favorite wrestling game, which was WCW versus uh, NWO uh, on N64. Like that was my shit, dude. You pick
Oh
Scott
yeah.
Norton and just hold the B button. Fucking, he does this like fucking. He just throws all his power into this fucking punch, and you just knock people out with that shit. And it's fucking. That's all you got to do. Um, anyway, uh, I'm not a wrestling guy, but this
Yeah,
is
me
this is
neither.
pretty this is pretty big, especially since like there's just not been any competition in the wrestling market
Yeah,
for
WWE's
2K.
like all I've ever heard of.
Yeah,
Um, and there was I come from a martial arts background. 'Cause my dad studied martial arts forever when he was younger, and he taught like me and my brother some shit so we wouldn't get picked on in school. It didn't work, but nah. All jokes aside, though, I love you, Dad. All jokes aside, though, I remember like when I was younger, like there's this big like controversy where like UFC like came to EA, I think, to make UFC games, but EA didn't want to do it. They didn't consider it like a sport, was what they said. So Dan Silva, the CEO of UFC, actually went to Yukes and they produced the game for them. And after that did well, EA made their own MMA game called EA Sports MMA. And after that, they came to a deal with UFC. So now EA produces all the UFC games going forward. But this will be cool to see because I have played those games that Ukes have put out, and they're pretty good. They're solid
yeah,
games. When I
yeah,
was still following UFC, I felt like these are some of the better UFC games to come out for a while. Um, so it'll be cool to see what they put out with and if AEW is keeps their head to the ground as much as you say they do, like they know what gamers want to play. It'll be cool to check out. I'm not a wrestling fan, but I like good video games. So if it's a fun game, I'll check it out.
yeah.
Now here's something I could talk about. Diablo 3 is starting their new season, season 22, Shades of the Nephalem. That starts November 20th. I'm really upset that my computer's not working, so I can't fucking play that when it comes out. But Shades of the Nephalem. So every once in a while, Diablo will have a new season. Now, seasons are specific predetermined gameplay modifiers that change the game up in certain ways. Depending on how far you can get into that season, you can unlock item slot boxes, specific brand new gear, even some cosmetic items. You can unlock all those playing through the season. Plus, it's cool to play through because the gameplay modifiers do fuck with the game in really fun ways. This one, for example, has a new theme where if you activate a shrine or a pylon, which are like temporary power ups, on top of the shrine or pylon giving you a power up, it also spawns a shadow clone next to you based on your character with a predetermined one of 3 predetermined builds, and it'll fuck stuff up with you for about a minute, minute and a half.
Like Naruto.
Very similar to Naruto, but like less cringy. Or more cringy, depending on how you feel about Diablo. But here's the thing that's got me excited. This is what's got me happy in the pants here. The game has this really cool system called Kanai's Cube. Now, certain items, legendary items, will have really cool benefits. So stuff like, if you're like a monk, you can have like a weapon that makes one of your monk abilities do more damage or lets you teleport when you use it. Little things like that are really cool. If you like that ability, but you don't like the weapon for whatever reason, or you have a better weapon, you can just take that ability and put it in Kanai's Cube, and you can activate it on yourself. I know it's kind of hard to follow, but bear with me.
Nope, got it all.
You
Everything.
got it? Cool. Cool. So those are sectioned out into 3. You can only get 3 abilities in the cube, and they're segmented between a weapon, a piece of armor, and a piece of jewelry, like a ring or an amulet. So you can't just load it up with whatever you want. You have to stick by those rules. Well, now for this season, they're allowing a 4th slot for you to put in whatever you want.
Oh shit.
Yes, yes. I can't tell if that's sarcastic, but I'm gonna pretend it's not. I am like really excited.
But it won't stack with powers from other slots.
It won't. So if you already have that power up in another slot, it's not going to stack with it. But you have that ability. If there's like an ability that works perfectly for your build, but you couldn't fit it before because it didn't fit in one of the slots, or if there's a slot that worked better, you have that freedom to put that in there and do something cool with it. I can't wait to see some of the builds that come out for it. They're probably, I wouldn't be surprised. I haven't followed Diablo in a while. This is the kind of game like I ignore it when I finish a season, and then when a new season comes out, I get back into it. They probably had some practice rifts where they have a lot of like big streamers and stuff come in and play through them, check the balancing out. So it'll be really cool to see what they do with that. In the meantime, I'm excited. I want to see it, and I'm really happy to be playing Diablo again, even though I know it's a problem.
Yeah, you have a problem.
I do have a problem, and the problem is Diablo.
Yeah, this looks pretty significant. So, it's Diablo.
Yeah, man, I love me some Diablo, and I know I have a problem with it. I shit talk Diablo just as much as I sing its praises, and it'll be really cool to see it come out.
Are they adding
I'm
controller support with this update?
who gives a fuck? I know you
I
do. I know
do.
you do. I know you do.
It's the one reason why I don't play
Probably
this.
not. We'll have to wait and see, though. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. Honestly, I'd be surprised if it got controller support before Diablo 4 came out.
Can y'all review
I'm being
Warship
totally honest
Gunner?
here. Which is another game I'm excited for, but I'm not going to talk about that now because I don't want to spend all day talking about Diablo.
Tanisha and AJ the Beast says, "Can y'all review Warship
In the
Gunner?"
meantime, though, it looks cool. There's a lot of cool things coming with it. The cosmetic rewards look really cool. I personally have played the not the Necromancer, the Witch Doctor, the past 2 seasons because the Mong Danugu build was really broken, and it seems like they've tweaked it since then. So it's not as broken as it used to be, but that's the main build that the game's kind of promoting for this season. So I might run another Witch Doctor for this season, but we'll see. Yeah, those of you want to check it out, Wasabi, if you want to play it, I'll show you the ropes. I'll show you how meta Diablo can get.
I'll play it on
But in
PS4.
the meantime, man, it's something I'm excited for. I know I keep repeating myself, but I am excited for it. I get excited every time a new season comes out. In trailers, we got a trailer for Halo 4 coming on the Master Chief Collection. The Wake Up John trailer. I've never played Halo 4, so this will be cool the first time me playing it when that comes out. And we also have, let me take a look. Just had that right here. Trailer for Deathloop, which looks phenomenal. I really, really, really want to play Deathloop.
I don't think Rick can hear me.
It's made by the same guys who did Dishonored, so that'll be cool. Yo, I've been
So
talking to myself for like a minute now. Wasabi, are you there, man?
he can't hear me for some reason.
Yo, can you hear me?
I can hear him, but he can't hear me.
What the
I don't
fuck
know
is
what he
going
did.
on?
Tell him that he can't hear me while I play the Deathloop trailer.
Hold on, there's some technical difficulties.
I know you guys can hear me, but he can't hear me. Rick cannot hear me.
Richard, he can't hear him, but he can hear you.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't know what's going on. I cannot hear you at all. I cannot. I'm going to disconnect the call and come back in.
Okay. Yeah, you know, every once in a while this type of thing happens. You know, you hate to see it. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yo, I can't hear you, Doc. Like, what's going on here?
I just heard myself through your shit. How can you not hear me? Well, let's talk to the chat a little bit. You guys want to explain to me what Warship Gunner is? Can I check that out real quick? Guys, we do this live on twitch.tv.
Dude, I can't hear Dick. Like, I don't know what's going on here. Hold up. I don't know. I just don't hear you. I see the little icon going off, but I don't hear you.
Yo,
Hello?
check
Yo,
it, check
yo,
it.
yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, but that's not
Okay,
the
there we go.
problem.
Now it's working. Now it's working.
Okay, what up?
Okay. I don't know what happened. I couldn't hear you at all. Like, what the fuck just happened?
Warship Gunner, this is gonna be the greatest.
It was just not working. I couldn't hear you out of nowhere. Then it started working again. I saw the icon going off and everything. What the fuck, dude? Fucking, I've never had this with Discord.
It's a game about boats. I'm looking at Warship Gunner right now. Is this a PS2 game?
Hold on, what did I miss?
Well, they came in here talking about some Warship Gunner. Am I getting trolled right now, or are you actually like into this?
Me, no.
Well, not you.
That's a game.
Your significant other.
So it's a game that her dad's been playing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's like super. I've watched him play a couple times. He likes it.
Okay. It looks all right.
Yeah, it looks cool.
We'll check it out. We got a request to check out some Warship Gunner. Warship Gunner 2, to be exact.
Yeah, maybe we could find like a ROM online or something and give it a try.
I have this. I have every PS2 game.
There you go. Then let's check it out sometime. It'll make my father-in-law very happy.
Leo Getz in the house. What's up?
What up, Leo?
All right, Warship Gunner. I'll put that on the list. Sonic Adventure. Oh, don't tell me about Sonic Adventure Battle. That's one of the greatest games ever made.
You're
already
wrong,
know.
but okay.
One of the rolling around at the speed of sound. Got places to go, gotta follow my rainbow.
My wife and I have gotten into arguments about whether Sonic is objectively a good game.
Oh, it is objectively.
It is not. Do not encourage her. Do not encourage her. You're gonna end my marriage, Wasabi.
Well, hate to do it, but
Jesus Christ. I've totally lost track of what I was talking about. I was talking about Halo.
We've gotten significantly derailed here.
Yeah, we did. It happens on a live show, man. Sometimes that happens. That's the fun of live shows. They're unpredictable.
Yeah.
Back in trailers, we went over Halo 4. You know that's coming out. Excited to play that. Never played it before. Deathloop. Every time I see something more about Deathloop, I get more and more confused. Is it like a roguelite? Is that what we're looking at here with this?
No, it's a PvP shooter, uh, asymmetric shooter. I think. I don't
But
know
it like
exactly how.
has, yeah,
There are
but
people
it
who are
has like a
excited for
story
this game.
trailer.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not excited for it, but I'm interested in it. It
Yeah.
definitely looks interesting.
It's interesting to see that it still has a bunch of PlayStation logos and shit like that when they are now owned by Xbox, Microsoft.
Oh wow, Arcane. This deal got worked out way before that happened. But yeah, you're right. It is funny to be
Yeah,
seeing
but they could
those
have like
PlayStation logos everywhere.
they could have planted, you know, a Microsoft Studios logo on there just so people know what's up. But yeah, not available on other consoles until 1 year after release date. So Deathloop. I'm interested to see exactly what that game is because I don't totally understand.
Yeah, dude, I don't know dick about this game so far, and I am excited to see like what it comes out to.
Can I just real quick talk about the PlayStation fanboy? Uh I've been seeing a lot of shit coming out for just against Xbox for not having any games, but then they'll go and say like, yeah, we got Godfall and we got. I'm like, first of all, no one don't let's not pretend anyone is excited for Godfall, okay? Like, let's not kid ourselves here. No one cares about that game.
Mhm.
And like, if we got Destruction All Stars, I'm like, again, no one cares about this. Two $70 games, both games $70, by the way. Like, let's not pretend they were excited for that. Now, if you are, I'm sorry, but Godfall is getting
Sorry.
reviewed. It's like 60. Like that game's getting like 60s.
Which, if you're gonna drop like $70 for a game, it better be a good fucking game.
Yeah, yeah. So that's all I gotta say about that. I mean, like the one thing I play on PlayStation right now is Demon Souls, and that game is 11 years old. So
Oh, that's gotta
Yakuza.
mean something. With the most exciting game on next gen systems right now is a 13-year-old game.
UK
There's this
gamer,
joke in there.
UK gamer in the chat. What is up? I haven't seen you in a
What's
while.
up?
That's an old friend of mine. Very old. He's like in his 70s. No, I'm just kidding.
How you
Yeah,
doing, UK gamer?
Yakuza Like a Dragon. Um, I'm disappointed that this is not on Game Pass right now. What is
Dude,
happening?
same, dude,
I
same.
thought it was gonna be there.
Dude, me too. Like Yakuza Like a Dragon looks so cool. And I thought with it being like an Xbox exclusive, we would be seeing it on Game Pass now. And I'm sad it's not. The other Yakuza games are on there. Well, the newer ones would say Yakuza Kiwami 1 and 2 and Yakuza 0, I think are both on Game Pass.
Yeah,
So it seems to me, it seems weird that Like a Dragon is. And that's the one I'm most interested to play because it's a whole new story. I don't have to follow like the Kazuma Kiryu storyline to understand what's going on. And it's a whole different it's a turn-based RPG and it looks like a fucking fun one.
yeah. Like I want to play this so bad, but I'm
Dude,
not gonna be able
same.
to. Or like I could, but if I buy it, but I don't want to buy it if it's gonna be on Game Pass.
Exactly. Exactly. That's my big concern too. Every trailer I see for it looks awesome. And less awesome news, we got a trailer for Fallout 76's new expansion. With their new Steel Dawn expansion, we got a trailer for a new character, a new NPC for the game. Oh, I got the hiccups like crazy. We got a trailer for a new character in the game, Rami, Shin, and Valdez. So three characters, my bad. Honestly, is anyone like excited for this? Is there anyone who saw this trailer was like, "Oh, those characters look so cool"?
You'd be surprised. This game still has a following, so
Is it really an excited following though, or is it just people watching to see what else they fuck up?
I don't know. I've been interested to just dip a toe back into this and see, because I haven't been able to play it again since the big Wastelanders update. So I'm interested to
I
see what
mean,
it's like now.
it's on Game Pass, right? So maybe like that might be
Yeah,
the best time to try it. We can download it. Let's do it on stream. We'll play it on stream. We'll both
I
start
bought this
level one
game, so
characters. I feel bad for you. I'm sorry. You
I
want a
bought
hug?
it knowing, I die for my people. So it's not the first time I bought a shitty game for the lulls. I mean,
I
I did
gotta
play
ask
through
though, did you buy it? Did you buy it day one for $60? Did you get it for like
day
30,
one.
like a week later?
I bought it day one, but not $60. I got it for like 40 on day one.
Okay. Because I remember, wasn't it like a week later that game was like 30? And people were like, what's going on here? And Bethesda was like, oh, it's because of Black Friday, even though like no other game has dropped that much for Black Friday ever after coming out so soon.
Yeah. UKG says last time I was here, I was ghosting, I was cooking. You were playing a car game, chasing a rocket along the road. Yeah, that was me dying for my people. That was that was
That
Fast and
Fast and Furious?
Furious. Yeah. I play the shitty game so you don't have to. It
All
was
right,
entertaining.
angry video game nerd. Or is that Nostalgia Critic? That's Nostalgia Critic. My
That's
bad.
Nostalgia Critic, yeah.
We got a trailer for Sam and Max Save the World remastered. Full disclosure, I've never played a Sam and Max game before, but everyone tells me they're great.
Yeah. Classic Telltale.
I like the cartoon aesthetics. It's really funny. I miss when cartoons like looked funny as well as like were funny.
Yeah.
And this seems like a callback to that. I like the little rabbit dude with the sharp teeth. I'm like, what? That's hilarious.
remember when 1080p looked good? Because like this trailer's in 4K and like it shows I've been watching stuff in 1080p recently and I've been like, oh, this must not be running at 1080p, but it is, and I'm like, oh, why does it look so bad? Like when I was watching that Apple event, the Apple event was in 1080p and I was like, oh, why is it so pixely? I don't know, my brain is just like 1080p doesn't look good anymore. This looks fantastic though. I've never played this Sam and Max game. I've played the Penal Zone. Maybe that was an episode of one. I don't remember. I played 2 Sam and Max games, and one of them they were good. Skunkape, whatever the one was with Skunkape was Skunk Ape. Which if you look at this YouTube account, it is Skunk Ape.
What's a Skunk Ape?
was.
Is that a Sam and Max thing or?
It's a character. It's a character in
Oh.
Sam and Max.
That sounds hilarious. Skunk Ape?
Yeah. Well, it's Skunkape.
His name, so he's like, my name is Skunkape.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that so much.
Yeah, that's
Like,
the
that
Devil's
alone's
Playhouse, I
like-
think.
That alone is like making me want to play this.
Yeah, all their jokes. If you
I
like
looked
that
up.
joke.
I looked up Skunk. I looked up Skunkape. His character design is hilarious.
Yeah, if you like that one joke, the entire game is that. So
I am okay with that. I'm buying a new game.
was there a release date on this? December 2nd, coming to PC and Switch.
There we go. That's what I'm buying it. We also got a trailer for some new Grounded content. The Koi Pond, which you fuck with Grounded. You liked it a lot, right?
Yeah, I played it. We got a video up on the website, Gameoverse.com, Gameoverse.com/YouTube. And yeah, it's I usually hate survival games. This one is really good. I really like this one. It's really unique. That helps it a lot. and it's not as punishing as other survival games as well. Like you
I
can
like
just have
that.
fun with it. They've been updating this game. There's a lot of people playing this game now. Like a lot of
Yeah.
people. This last update, I guess, just like triggered something in people to just try it out. It's on Game Pass. It's still like in game preview, early access, but man, like they've added a lot to this game. Yeah, I would like to jump back into this. I haven't played it since the day it launched, so
I'm down. Let's fucking once I get my computer working again, I'm down to install it. It's on Game Pass. I'll install it. We'll place it.
yeah.
We'll play a bit. It's fun.
Leo Git says this is the one where you can turn off the spiders. Yeah, you don't turn off the spiders, you turn them into like little cute like cute little fucking like floating balls, basically. Um
Oh yeah, for people who have arachnophobia.
yeah. Which
I
yeah,
like that.
the spiders in this game are terrifying.
Oh yeah.
Uh More so because they're so deadly. So every time you see one, it's like, oh fuck. Like they will chase the shit out of you and kill you in like one hit. But yeah, that game is very fun.
That's good. I can't wait to try it with this new update. Like, there's a reason. There's a reason for
Yeah.
you to go back into it, and there's a reason for me to give it a shot.
They've been updating it a lot. That's like their like 7th update, but I guess for some reason people are just now getting into it. So
Another game we have a trailer for. Where did you find this game, Varvarian? Because I looked
internet.
this up. This looks like an arena fighter.
Yeah,
Not too dissimilar to like the Naruto Shinobi Striker games, but it looks more technical and better. Question mark.
yeah,
Like I'm into it. I'm not like a fighting game like aficionado, but I like to think of myself as the resident fighting game fan for Gameoverse. And for what I'm seeing here, it looks very technical and it looks a lot more it looks like it's taking more influence from more technical fighting games. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like it doesn't
Almost like
feel
your
like
like
this.
classic 3D fighter, almost like a anime virtual fighter.
Yeah, very similar to that. It
Bloody
looks like an
Roar,
anime.
Leo Get says.
Yeah, I can see the bloody roar stuff, but it looks like it's taking elements of like the technical 3D fighters like Tekken and Soul Calibur with like some of the rushdown and arena mechanics you see in like anime arena fighters.
Yeah,
And I'm cool with it. They're planning to showcase it at indie game events starting in 2021. It's from a company I've never heard of, Polynomicon, which great fucking name. I kind of wish I thought of that first. Polynomicon is a great name. I wish I'd come up with that. I'm interested in what they got here, man. Like I want to check this out. Again, as the fighting game, the resident fighting game fan, of course I'd be excited for it. But what about you? You know, someone who doesn't really play fighting games, what did you think looking at it?
it looks cool. You know, I'm very much a fan of button mashers. So you know, your Dead or Alives or your Soul Calibers are more my style. Not a huge fan of 3D movement. I don't know. I feel like that extra dimension kind of. Well, I really don't like it when it's like side scrolling, but you can like sidestep in 3D. Um,
Can you give an example?
Even though that's what like Soul Calibur is. It's more so like remember the Mortal Kombat games where it was like, um, you can like sidestep. I mean, it's basically what like Dead or Alive and Soul Calibur are, but like this one's more like full free movement,
Yeah,
3D. And I don't know.
I hear what you mean.
Like I don't know. I'm not a huge if it's built in a certain way where uh it makes sense, then maybe. I don't know. Fighting games aren't I'm bad at them, so usually I just kind of just
I'm bad at them too, but I still think they're fun. And this one, Bavarian, looks like a lot of fun. I want to try that out.
yeah.
Um, we also got an interactive trailer for the Corridor.
Yeah,
which I've
so
never heard of this before. What is this?
well, if you see what it says, it's a fully interactive game trailer played in your very own browser. So
I know the
what?
trailer, you smart ass, but like, what is the? Is this a trailer for a game? Because I've never heard of the corridor before today.
Yeah, the trailer is exactly what the game is.
I'll have to try it out because again, I don't have a fucking computer. I'm on an iPad.
Oh,
So
yeah. Okay, yeah. Then you cannot play the trailer. Actually, I'm gonna post this link in the chat so you guys can try the trailer. It's a trailer that you can play in your browser. And it's really cool. It's really cool. Basically, it's like the Stanley Parable. If you ever played the Stanley Parable,
I
it's like
did. I
that,
love the Stanley Parable.
except it's like one room, I guess. It's just a corridor. So
I'm into that. I'll
yeah,
give it a try.
if you like that
Once I get
kind
my
of
computer
humor,
working. I'll
um,
give it a try. Once I get my computer working, I'll give it a shot.
yeah, it's made by one guy. So
Even more impressive.
yeah, it's yeah,
Um,
it's one of those kind of meme games, but it seems pretty funny.
I'll check it out for sure then. Um, we also got a trailer for the Resident Evil 4 HD project. Chapter 5-4 is now fully remastered. Those of you who don't know, Resident Evil 4, even the Ultimate Edition, quote unquote, that launched on PC, the textures look like dog shit.
Yep.
It's embarrassing how bad those textures are. Oh, so this team of people made it their duty to go into Resident Evil 4 and remaster every texture that they could. This is more than just upscaling. Like these guys are completely redoing these textures almost from scratch.
Yeah.
The guys actually live in Spain, so a lot of them have taken trips around Spain to take pictures of what influenced some of these textures and using that in their replacements. It's fucking insane the work that has gone into this upscale. And it's something a lot of people aren't going to notice, when you play through the game. Like you'll notice, oh, the game looks prettier, but you're not going to notice like poster details or painting details. Um, it's really impressive, like the work that's gone into this. This specific video is like an hour and a half long, just showing off all kinds of different textures and graphical upscaling, and it looks amazing. Like I'm really happy to see this make as much project as it has, or as much progress as it has. I'm definitely going to pick this up once the thing's fully completed, which shouldn't be much longer. 5-4 is already almost done with the game. I think like there's like 2 more chapters after that, 3 more chapters after that.
I never got into this game.
I feel bad for you. I fucking Resident Evil 4 is like my favorite game, dude.
You
I
know,
play through this game at least like once a year.
really.
Yeah.
I like Resident Evil 5.
Resident Evil 5 is good, don't get me wrong. It's just it doesn't scratch the same itch 4 does, at least not for me.
Hmm. But I don't know. Maybe I'll jump into it when this is done.
It looks really impressive, and I'm excited to see this come through. I remember when they first announced it years ago, and they showed off some of the texture they've worked on, and I was like, this is so cool if they can make the whole game look like that. And they're almost there, dude. They're almost there, and I can't wait to see it finished. Again, I love Resident Evil 4, so anytime I have an excuse to play it, I'm gonna take it.
Leo Gets in the chat says, "Did you play Evil Within?" Yeah, the first game sucked, and the second game was a lot better.
I never finished the first game. I liked the callbacks to Resident Evil that were in it, but a lot of the game felt really disjointed. Like there's a lot of things that are in there because they're scary. It doesn't fit the rest of the game like thematically. And the game's like trying really hard to be like a survival horror game and this action game, and it comes off kind of disjointed. But I liked it. I'll probably go back and play it one of these days. But I didn't hate it. I didn't think it sucked like Wasabi says it does.
That sucks. Ghostwire Tokyo looks good. That's another right. That's another. What's that
Shinji
guy's name?
Mikami.
Shinji Mikami. That's another Mikami joint, right?
Yeah. That one looks good. That woman that was working with him, the one that was in all the memes, she's not in it anymore, so that sucks. But it looks cool. Anything Mikami puts out, like I'm at least interested in. Now, he's not like my favorite director, but anything he puts out, I'll usually just take a peek at, even if I don't pick it up.
Yeah.
In some game releases, we have Bubble Bobble 4 Friends. The Baron is back, coming out on PS4 and Nintendo Switch. I didn't know there was another Bubble Bobble game in development. I'll be honest with you.
This has been out for a while on, or has it been out? I think this was already out for a bit. I thought it was out on Switch, but now I'm seeing it's just now coming to Switch and PS4. Maybe it's out on PC, Xbox, maybe. I don't know. I'm a Bubble Bobble fan. You know,
Yeah, you are?
it's
never played Bubble
one of my favorite NES games. Me and my brother used to play this, and just like, because there's not much to it. Like, it's real basic. You just run around, put enemies in bubbles, and then smash them.
Oh shit! This new game includes the original arcade release. That's really cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Wasn't that game the one that had like the NES version at least had like two endings depending on how well you played? If you played
That
like
was a
shit, you
very
got like a
long
shit
game.
ending.
I never finished
Yeah.
it. That game was very long.
I remember hearing somewhere that a lot of people like bitch about it because they say it's a great game, but like if you don't get like a high enough score when you finish it, you can get like a really shitty ending.
Oh, I don't remember.
But this looks like fun. It's a fun, cute little arcadey game. I miss when games were just like fun.
Yeah.
Know what I mean? Like they were just simple fun, and this one looks like it's doing it. I definitely want to check it out. It's coming out November 17th for Switch and PS4, so that might be worth looking into. We also have the Halo Master Chief Collection coming out on Xbox Series X, November 17th. So at that point, it's going to have everything except for Halo 4. So like 2 days later on the 19th, you'll have Halo 4 with it. Or if you have Game Pass, you can just download it. You don't have to pay any money. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Interested to see what that looks like on Series X.
Me
Have they
too.
said there'll be any enhancements for that?
I don't know if there are. I know Gears of War 5 is getting like 120 FPS.
Yeah.
So that's insane. I don't know if Halo's gonna get something similar, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean,
I've
it's
been
Halo is
seeing
like Microsoft's big franchise, so they should do something big with
a
it. But
lot
we'll
of
see.
games coming out and like patching in 120 on Xbox, but PS5 I've not been seeing. Are there any games that do 120? I know that on the box PS5 says it can do it, but I don't know if I've seen any games that do 120 on
I
PS5.
haven't seen any either. I'm sure if there is, someone in the chat will tell us. They're like, "Oh, you forgot this game. Kill yourself." I keep making that joke, and you always laugh at it. I love it, no matter how
it's
tired that joke gets.
it's funny.
I make at least one joke about someone threatening to kill me, or someone threatening I should kill myself, at least once every podcast, and it always gets a laugh out of Wasabi.
It's funny.
It's funny because
because
it's
it's
true.
true.
We also have Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate. Fuck that game.
Your
Coming out on
favorite.
PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. That is going to be the third boxed release of that game since it came out last year. That game has had 3 releases: the base game, the Aftermath collection, and now Ultimate Edition. And I'm fucking pissed. I refuse to buy it again. I say that, but I'm probably gonna buy it again because I'm part of the problem.
I'll buy it for the first
Yeah,
time.
it'll be the first time you bought it. Yeah, exactly.
Is that on PC?
It is. It's coming out on PC, PS4, Switch, Xbox One. Basically, everything has already come out on, and then some.
Oh, I see. They're gonna re-release it on PC for $60. Great.
Yeah. We also got a Serious Sam collection coming out on, surprisingly, the Nintendo Switch, which I wasn't expecting, as well as PS4 and Xbox One.
Yeah.
Which, how is that going to work? I mean, Serious Sam itself isn't like too
They're not.
intensive of a game.
Yeah, they're not very demanding.
But what trips me out is that this has Serious Sam 3 in it, which, was a step up from Serious Sam 1 and 2. And it's not the original release of Sam 1 and 2. It's the HD remaster of 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And I wonder how that looks on the Switch. The trailer that I'm watching now, and the one that you put in the show notes, is the Switch trailer, and it looks like it's running fine. The textures are a little muddy, but the game looks like it's running fine.
Yeah. I enjoy Serious Sam. I got this game.
So,
You can get like the entire like the Ultimate Collection on PC, the HD collection, and it has a mod support.
yeah.
And I got a shitload of mods on there. It just adds like an RPG mode where you can like level up and like upgrade your weapons and shit. And then I added just a shitload of weapons.
That sounds cool.
It's good, man.
Cool.
It's fun.
Yeah. I'll have to give it a try. I like some Serious Sam. That's a game I haven't like. I don't have a lot of fond memories with, but I do like it. I like it a lot, and I played it. There's a point like a couple years ago where I was playing through the games again, and they're still pretty fun. They still hold up really well, and the HD remasters definitely help with that longevity of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's cool to see it on Switch, PS4, and Xbox One. If you absolutely have never played Serious Sam before, it's not a bad option to play it. But if you have a PC, honestly, get it on that. It's not very graphically intensive. You can run it on some low-end PCs. I say get it on PC if you can find it.
And it's got mod support.
And it's got mod support.
And VR support too.
Yes, and VR support. And it is both. They have both movement options. You can run or you can teleport. So if you get motion sick, you have both options to choose from. We also have Sniper Elite 4 coming out on the Switch. Which, didn't we see the trailer for that one? It
looked
didn't
bad.
look too good.
Yeah.
That looked really rough. Hopefully they fixed it before the release, but I doubt it.
I mean, if you're getting that game on the Switch, I don't think you really care.
That's true. You should, though. I mean, there's a standard you should hold developers to.
Yeah, well, that's why every time I say like, I'm like, at least lie about it in your trailer. Like, not that I want you to, but if you want anyone to, if you're trying to trick anyone to buy this,
yeah, you
don't show the frame drops. Yeah,
exactly. We also have coming out November 19th, Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate. Fuck that game. Coming out on the Stadia. So, if you absolutely have to, there's a way to play it on Stadia.
and Star Renegade.
Oh yeah,
Switch and Xbox One. Which
Star Renegade. I've looked into this a little bit. It looks really cool. I don't know if it's exactly my cup of tea though.
Well, I'm not totally sure what the game. It looks like a action strategy game. I really dig the art style.
The art style is one thing I really liked. I don't know if it's exactly my cup of tea because I'm not a big fan of like strategy games, even with this like action element. I go back and forth because I'm someone who did like I liked XCOM, but this one doesn't look. It looks more like real time strategy. Like I don't know how to explain it. Kind of like Valkyrie Profile. You ever played Valkyrie Profile?
Yeah.
Like the turn-based system kind of looks like that a little bit. I don't know. It looks interesting, but
looks all right.
Maybe I'll like it. Maybe I won't. I don't know. I can't wait to see it come out though. I do want to see more about it. It looks interesting enough that I want to see it succeed. You know what I mean? Like even if it doesn't like quite push those buttons for me, I do want to see it succeed.
Yeah. Well, I think it's been out for a while as well. It's just now coming to Switch and Xbone.
Oh, has it? I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't hear about it until after this till this podcast.
Yeah. Me either. There's your problem.
But but you know what is coming out though that we've both been excited for? Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity is coming out November 20th for the Nintendo Switch. That's
Yeah.
that looks good. It looks really
I'm
good.
gonna have to fix my Switch.
So real talk, I got a proposition for you, and I want everyone on the stream to hear this.
Okay.
If you decide you can't fix that Switch, I will buy your left Joy-Con off of.
I have 2 of them.
You have 2 left Joy-Cons?
Yeah, I bought like a third-party one. It's a D-pad.
I see. I have a third-party one too, and it's dog shit. I want like the OG like Nintendo Joy-Con. Mine still works, but it's got this frustrating thing where it doesn't lock in. So like if I'm holding it and I shift my hand, the fucking Joy-Con just like pops off without pushing the button.
Oh,
It's like
gross.
super frustrating. Yeah, it's super gross. It doesn't feel good in a handheld, and I hate it. I would rather not buy like a new Joy-Con for like what, $50, $60, what they're going for the singles.
Yeah, I don't use my like real one anymore. I only use a D-pad. So
All the better. I'll buy that real one off of you.
how much you trying to?
How much you trying to sell it for? We'll
90.
talk about this. 90? Fuck you. Eat my ass. But well, for 90, you better fucking eat my ass. Jesus Christ. But no, real talk. Hyrule Warriors looks really good.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things. Every trailer we've seen for Age of Calamity so far has just gotten me more and more excited.
Yeah. And I'm the biggest Zelda fan on the planet, so I mean,
Yes, you are.
this is it's eating me alive that I'm not gonna be able to play this.
I will pick it up eventually. I probably won't pick it up day one, but I will pick it up eventually. We also got a trailer for Katamari Damacy, or is it Damachi? I've heard it pronounced both ways.
Damacy. Whoever says Damachi is
Damacy.
wrong. So
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. We have a trailer for that coming out or we have that releasing, I should say. We saw the trailer already, coming out on PS4 and Xbox One November 20th. I've never played any of the Katamari games. I've heard they're good. Would this be a good one to get into?
What have you been doing, man? How did you miss that?
I don't know. It came out the same time I was on the jerk off, so maybe I was busy with that.
Oh.
But joking aside, though, like, would that be a good like entry into the Katamari games? Like, if I play that one first.
I mean, that's
That'd
the
be
only one you can play. It's not like I mean, if you were looking to get into that game now, it's not like what are you asking?
I don't know.
That's the only one that's the only one that you can really get now. So
I mean,
like,
I still have a PS3. I still have an Xbox 360. Like, are there Katamari games that came out on those that might be better options?
No.
No? Okay, then.
1 and 2 were the only good ones.
Okay, so don't even bother with this one then.
No, this is the remake of 1.
Oh, so Katamari. I thought the first one was called We Love Katamari.
No, that's like the 4th one.
What?
That's like the 3rd one. Am I wrong?
I don't know.
We Love Katamari. That's the 3rd Katamari game.
Because I don't know. I don't play these. I've never played these games before.
Katamari Damacy is the original. And then there was a second one, which I think was called just Katamari Damacy 2. And then We Love Katamari was, I think, the PS3 one. Then Reroll is the original one remastered.
Okay.
Which that should should tell you everything you should know, because if it's the only one they remaster, that's the only good one.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Leo Getz is asking, he's asking, what's the best Zelda game to start? That is a loaded question.
Yeah, it is. How much time you got, man?
Have you not played a Zelda game before? That's my follow up to that. Is have you not played a Zelda game? And if you've not, you're fucking up.
Oh, he's trying to rectify it. Be nice. He's trying to figure out what to start with.
Okay, sure.
I say, fuck what anyone else says. You should start with the Amiga Zelda game. But no. Was it Amiga? What was it? The CGI game that they released? What am I talking about?
Yeah, the one of Gamelon and
Yeah.
Zelda's Adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, joking aside, I'm a big fan of Ocarina of Time, even though people shit talk it a lot.
Who shit talks that game? Show me.
Mostly Ego Raptor.
Oh, yeah, he's wrong though. So,
joking aside, I'm a fan of Ocarina of Time, and if you can play that one, the 3DS version is, in my opinion, the best version of that game. That's a good one to start with. If you want something more modern, I would argue Twilight Princess is just a more modern, darker Ocarina of Time. So that's a good one to go look into too. You can play that one on the original Wii, GameCube, or on the Wii U. You still have a Wii U. Or honestly, like Breath of the Wild is a good one too. Like I wouldn't say that's like the definitive Zelda experience.
Here's the thing about Breath of the Wild. It's like not really a Zelda game though. I mean it is, but it's more classic Zelda reimagined in the third dimension.
Yeah. And that's why like it depends on what you want out of Zelda, man. Like
I would say there's only two options here.
Okay.
Ocarina of Time, which is like the obvious one.
Yeah.
And A Link to the Past.
There you go. So you get like what some people argue is the best 2D Zelda experience and what people argue is the best 3D Zelda experience.
Yeah.
And if you want evolutions of that, like again, Twilight Princess is a good evolution of that. It's controversial opinion, but I think Wind Waker was a solid game too, and the Wii U version improves a lot of the problems I have with the original Wind Waker.
Yeah, you really can't go wrong with any of them, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all good.
Yeah.
Even Skyward Sword. Even Skyward Sword.
Yes, it is. And I don't care what anyone says. Skyward Sword was a good game.
But, he says, no, what's the first one to play? I'm just, the question, but, what would make you ask that question if you have not played any of them?
Yeah. I mean, if you want to know the first, like chronologically, it's Skyward Sword, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
If we're talking chronologically, it's like Skyward Sword, then like NES Zelda, then NES Zelda 2.
Zelda 2. Don't play that one because that one sucks.
I don't think it sucks.
No, it sucks. I used to defend it until like I tried to beat it. I tried to play it without a guide, and that game sucks.
I don't know, man. I think like I'm a little upset that Zelda 2's reception kind of shit on like that style of games. I think like that concept is a good idea.
The concept is good. I like the idea. The execution, piss poor.
I agree. I think if they try to remake it now, it would be a much better game.
Yeah.
Which Nintendo, get on that. Remake Zelda 2.
Yeah, they could do it. And it'd be good.
It would be really good. Remake Zelda 2. Call in Way Forward to do it. You know, they could use their hand-drawn techniques.
Oh, man. You just made me get wet in a place that I did not expect. Way Forward making a Zelda 2 remake is like genius.
Right? I've been thinking about this for years, dude.
Or like Yacht Club, the guys that make Shovel Knight.
Ooh, there you go. Fuck. Well, there you go. To answer your question, start with Ocarina of Time for sure. Play Ocarina of Time, play A Link to the Past, and then just kind of go wherever you want, man. Those are like the two like definitive Zelda games to play. Ocarina of Time, I will argue, is like Even though it was Zelda's first 3D outing, I think they did such a good job with it that it's a good like case study of what makes modern Zelda modern Zelda. So if you want to see like the roots of Zelda, at least modern Zelda,
Even
Ocarina
just
of Time's
like
a good place to start.
the roots of video games as a whole, because that game
Yeah,
did a lot of things that we take for granted now.
yeah.
It's like that game was very important when it released.
I agree. And purists again will tell you play on original hardware. You don't have to, man. The 3DS remake is best version of that game to play.
Yeah,
Go
but
play
that's
that.
not as accessible these days. So
It's not, but I mean, a 3DS you can get a 3DS for like what, like $100 now.
yeah,
The
I can buy
2DS,
a
and you can.
3DS for like one game now.
There's a lot of great games on the 3DS, man. Once you get a 3DS, you can play Ocarina of Time remastered. You can play Majora's Mask remastered. So already there's 2 solid Zelda games to play on that.
Link Between
Plus
Worlds is
all
on there.
A Link Between Worlds is on there. Like that's not a bad option to look into. Plus, like they just started releasing NES and SNES games on it, so you can play some of the original games if you want to go back to those. Like I
Yeah,
have Earthbound on my 3DS.
3DS is all right, but I don't like. I don't know. You got emulators now for that, so
I thought 3DS emulators are kind of fucky.
you've been under a rock for the past couple years. They've gotten really good.
Have they? All right, then I take back my statement. Emulate it. Play Ocarina of Time remastered on an emulator. And then just kind of yeah. So that's the consensus. Play Ocarina of Time remastered if you can. Play A Link to the Past, and then from there just explore. Man, the world's your oyster after that.
Yeah. That's our
Anyone
Zelda
else have any
talk.
questions? Yep. Anyone else have any questions? You know, what Star Wars
No,
movie you should start with? Where do babies come from? Why is the sky blue?
no further questions. This interview is over. This show is over. Gameoverse.com. Gameoverse.com/Twitch. Gameoverse.com/YouTube. Gameoverse.com/Discord. Gameoverse.com/Extra Life. Taking donations until the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So get them in while you can get them in. I'm going to be playing I've got Bug Snacks on PC.
Dope.
So I'm still going to be playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Loving that game. So I'm going to be playing that. I'm going to be playing Bug Snacks. So look forward to that coming up next week. You can be playing anything new or different.
I mean, I'm gonna be fixing my computer all day. I'm
Oh
just gonna
yeah.
all day figuring out what's wrong with that thing. I might
Yeah.
honestly, I think it's an issue where I would think the power switch isn't working. I think that's why it's having a problem because the tower is an LED tower, and only half the lights are lighting up, and now it's not turning on when I turn it on. So I think there might be a problem with the tower, and I might have to get another one. I just hope it's the tower to the motherboard or something. But we'll see. I'm gonna take a look at it right now. I'm gonna crack it open and take a look at it.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us here. So
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for having me. This was fun.
always fun.
Yep.
If anyone check out the YouTube channel, got Assassin's Creed video up now. Got Watch Dogs Legion video up now. I think the entirety of the Extra Life stream is up there. So if you missed it, wanted to check it out.
You can fast forward to the good parts when I show up.
Yeah, and then the good part when he leaves, and then I start playing Assassin's Creed. So, yeah, that's gonna do it. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Thanks for listening.
Mm-hmm.